gunman was found on the internet. It comes as a new report published by researchers at California State University, San Bernardino, shows a spike in hate crimes across the U.S. The report found hate crimes rose by 9% in 21 of the 30 major American cities. That marks an increase for a fifth consecutive year and is also a 10-year high. Let's bring in Professor Brian Levin. He is the director of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino, and one of the authors of that report. Professor, thanks very much for being with us. Your report found that white nationalists are growing or gaining more influence than other extremist groups. Why is that?
Great question. And let's start with the homicides, for instance. Listen to this. 2016, we had 3 by white supremacists in the United States. Then it went up the next year to 13 in 2017. Last year, it rose again to 17. And this year, we're still in August, white supremacist homicides have now outpaced all the other homicides that were extremist homicides for all of last year, and it's just August.
Wow, it's really sobering to see those numbers. According to your report, what fits the profile of contemporary mass murderers?
Really interesting. And again, what they found last year was that there were a substantial minority that had some kind of mental problem. And I know that's a big political football today. But here's the other thing. We now have 44% of Americans, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll, saying that whites are under attack. And that's up from 39% the year before. We can look at a variety of other surveys that show that somewhere between, let's say, 4% and 13% have the most hardened racist views, going from thinking Nazi views are acceptable or saying that interracial relationships are wrong. So here's the interesting thing. On a variety of different data points, whether it's criminal, whether it's online, or whether it's social surveys, we've been seeing kind of an upward slope. And that upward slope is sometimes interrupted by catalytic spikes. So for instance, November 2016, according to some research that James Nolan of West Virginia University and myself, along with some others, did, what we found was November 2016, election month, was the worst month for hate crime, according to FBI data, going back to the first anniversary of 9/11, 14 years. And the day after Election Day was the worst day for hate crimes going back to 2003. And you know what was the number 2 worst time since 2010? Charlottesville, August 2017. One other quick thing while we're talking about politicians. When candidate Trump launched his campaign in a very crowded Newsweek field, hate crimes against Latinos did not go up. But go to November 2016 when he was elected, that group had the biggest increase. One other quick thing, December 2015, right after the San Bernardino terrorist attacks, there was already a spike from the terrorist attacks. After the Muslim ban proposal, hate crimes spiked another 23%. So that's why I think it's good that today, at the very least, the president said white supremacy and domestic terrorism in one word, because our center has been saying for some time that white supremacy is the most ascendant and largest terror threat in the United States in a rising pool. And we saw extremist homicides decline in recent years on the decline of homicides by violent Salafist jihadists who were inspired by groups like ISIS. They cratered. And who kind of replaced them on the deck? White supremacists.
Yeah, well, tell us more about